Long ago, in a village by the great baobab tree, there lived a boy named Kofi. Kofi was small and quiet, but he had a gift. He could hear the voices of drums more clearly than anyone else. In that land, drums were not just for music. They carried messages, called warriors, and even spoke to the spirits. Every family had a drum, but the sacred drum of two hearts belonged to the whole village. It was said that when the drum was played with truth in the heart, the ancestors themselves would rise to bless the people. One season, a terrible drought fell upon the land. The river dried, the yams shriveled, and the cattle grew thin. The elders decided it was time to call upon the ancestors with the sacred drum. But when the strongest drummer struck it, no sound came. Again and again they tried, yet the drum was silent, as if its spirit had died. The people grew afraid. "If the ancestors will not answer," they whispered, "what will become of us?" Kofi, shy as he was, stepped forward. "Let me try," he said softly. The villagers laughed. "You? Your arms are thin as sticks. If the strongest could not wake the drum, how could you?" But Kofi's grandmother placed a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes," she said, "the ancestors hear what strength cannot say." So Kofi knelt before the sacred drum. He closed his eyes, and instead of striking with power, he pressed his hands gently, as if listening. Then he began to play, not with force, but with feeling. He played the rhythm of the village's sorrow, the hunger of the children, the thirst of the cattle, the prayers of the mothers. And then his rhythm changed. He played the hope of the sunrise, the laughter that still lived in the children's eyes, the promise of rain that always followed the dry season. He poured both sorrow and hope into the beat. Suddenly, the drum thundered with a voice so deep that the earth trembled. The villagers gasped. Clouds gathered overhead, and the first drops of rain began to fall. From that day, the elders declared, "The sacred drum has two hearts, one of sorrow and one of joy. Only when both are played together will the ancestors hear us." Kofi grew to become the village's greatest drummer, teaching that strength alone cannot awaken life's spirit. One must play with both hearts, truth and hope. And so whenever the villagers drum, they remember the boy who taught them that even the smallest hands can carry the biggest voices when they beat with honesty. Moral of the story: true strength is not in power alone, but in balancing sorrow with hope and speaking from the heart. Like and follow on Instagram and YouTube for more African stories.